All right, it's July 31st, Sunday evening. It's just after 9 o'clock, and I am in the honest to goodness campground here at Glacier National Park. The Lord blessed me with a beautiful sight here under these pine trees. And I got here this morning just after 8 o'clock, like the ranger had suggested I do so, where they were taking the first come, first serve for campsites for tonight. So yeah, I got one thankfully, and I've reserved it for I shouldn't say reserved it. I paid for it for 2 nights, so I'm actually got tomorrow to hang out and all that good stuff as well. And that said, only I think 73.5 miles today, just kind of running around locally, I guess you would say. Um, just here a little bit in the park and um, um, just outside the park. I went to many glaciers, which I've shot a video earlier, so I really shouldn't say too much about it because I am down to 2% memory. So I might be losing this, anytime. I'm not sure how much I get out, so I should just kind of rattle stuff out. Yesterday I'd mentioned Cameron Falls and then Cameron Lake. I forgot to mention at Cameron Falls, I met a young couple from Pakistan, and a young man and his wife and young child were there, and spoke to them for a few minutes and told them about my YouTube channel and everything. And it was good to meet you guys. I think he had said they moved to Canada just before COVID struck. Again, from Pakistan, but it was definitely good talking to you guys. Actually, I'll admit it. I told him, I said, I don't normally tell a guy this. I said, but you have got some cool eyes. He had some really neat looking, just a different color of eyes, almost like an amber or something. Really neat. So I told him, but he got a kick out of it. We pounded it, of course, and all that. So that, and then up at Cameron Lake, I met another family, and they had said they live within a few hours of the park, and they come like every so often. But it was a gentleman and his wife and 2 young kids, and we talked there by my motorcycle for a few minutes. He was interested in Zeke, like so many people are. That old hoss is such a conversation starter. Man, maybe this goofy hat to be my new conversation starter. I'm gonna call this my Toby Mac. This is my Toby Mac hat, and I bought this up at. I was trying to think of that name the other day at that lodge there in Jasper. That was Sunwapta, is what that was called. Is where I bought this hat, and that's where I met that young man too. That rang me out for my coffee, and I couldn't think of his name, and I almost think it was like severe, something like that. I thought of it after the fact. A lot of this stuff I think of it, thankfully, when I'm not thinking of it as well. Actually, I might be thinking of it, still trying to figure out when it comes to me, but I'm sure, I think all of us are like that. It just kind of stuff just kind of comes back to you. Let's see what. And two, I remember that town where I met, or maybe I looked, where I met James and his wife Brett. My last town there in Alberta, that was Cardston, and that's where again I got on Route 2 and headed south across the border, and it was Route 2/89. I think the 89 part is what it turned into after the border, but there's still 2. I noticed south of the park, 2 splits off, from 9. So I guess right now they're combined. Because crossing the border, actually that was the sign as well, was 89. I didn't even see a sign for 2, but like I said, I just know it's a part of it, I believe, right now. My arm's getting tired holding this up. So let's see what else before I lose it. It is getting a little, the light's getting low, because I can tell even without my glasses. Without my glasses on, I can see that it is looks a little blurry to me, because again, that would just be the lower light, I'm sure. Let's see what else. Met a guy today, and that was, well, first let me say, so I got the campsite. Back to that. Put the tent up. I treated the I sealed all the seams on the inside and actually outside. You can see all of them, the ones around the bottom. I sprayed the fly down, gave it a heavy dose of water repellent, and let it dry during the day while I was running around. It was a nice warm day with a little breezy and all, so I'm sure it dried, perfectly. So that was amazing. So been wanting to do that. It's going to be interesting to see how it works in the rain, because I'm sure I'm going to get some more rain at some point. But yeah, so that said, I went and ate my lunch at a place called the Park Cafe, just outside of the park here at St. Mary. Had a piece of pie afterwards that was, I told him, I said, I think that might have been the best piece of pie I've ever had. It was called, I think it was called grizzleberry, something like that. And it was part huckleberry and part blackberry, and it was absolutely delicious. Also had a scoop of vanilla ice cream with it, which, obviously makes it that much better. Delightful. I might even do another one here, maybe tomorrow, potentially. We'll see, Lord willing. But let's see. I gotta wrap this up. Sorry, I'm kind of just coming to you, just kind of shotgun style, just blasting you with a bunch of info. And so yeah, that was that I said St. Mary River is what I was next to, and yeah, that's slash lake, and that lake and all that runs all the way up here to the park from where I was last night out there towards Babb. Babb was the first town I came to, first little town out there in in Montana, and it's again camped just outside of it last night. And again, that's like I said, the St. Mary River slash lake, and the lake runs all the way up here to the park, and then the river, it turns back into a river again, and then it widens once again into a lake. So very St. Mary is very, very prominent right here in this area. A lot of water. Let's see. So that. What else? Also back to the Park Cafe, where I had that amazing piece of pie. Afterwards, I was talking to a guy who was there with his wife and I think one or two kids, and he was asking me about my ride and everything, and he was telling me that just in the conversation that he was asking about the fact that I am riding. He didn't notice the motorcycle. He just saw my gear maybe and stuff like that, and me. So he asked about riding. But so we're talking, and he says that he's from India, and so then I tell him what I'm riding, Royal Enfield, which are made in India, and he got really excited, and that was so cool. He's got a long family history of Royal Enfields. His grandpa rode one, and his brother had one as well. It was either his, maybe both of them had the Bullet, which the Bullet is classic. I believe that is the longest production motorcycle in production in the history of motorcycles, is the Royal Enfield Bullet. And so he said, again, either his grandpa or his brother had the Bullet. And again, if not both of them, I'm sorry. But that said, man, it was just really good to meet him and to talk to him. He had his young son there with him, and his wife was over at the vehicle, maybe with the other child. Thinking there was another one. And again, I apologize. I don't remember exactly. But I enjoyed talking to him, and he wanted to take a picture of the bike. And so he took a picture of the three of us. And then I did the same, three of us with the bike. So I should say the four of us, Don't want to leave Zeke out there. So, and his name was Sandeep, and his son was Atarf, and he was just a little guy. But it was good to meet you there, Sandeep. Good talking to you, man, really. And again, I just love the fact that you got excited about the Royal Enfield and just your family history with it. That was so cool to hear, because I know clearly they're big in India, and just to hear firsthand though, somebody with family experience of it, and you had said that you had ridden one before and all that. So I mean, that's just good stuff, man. Good talking to you, brother. Let's see if I want to make sure I'm getting everybody. I met a guy. I came out of the grocery store back in St. Mary, and I look at the truck that was parked right there in the front next to me, and it had Ohio plates. So I motioned to the guy, and he rolled his window down and asked him where he was from. He's from Dayton, Ohio, and which is like an hour from where I live. And actually, originally I'm from Dayton. I shouldn't say you have Some of you have no idea, but originally I'm from Dayton. My parents are in Xenia now, which is like 15 miles from Dayton. And again, I'm not too terribly far from it myself. But his name was Zach, and he and his family are just, sound like they're doing a lot of traveling. And it was good to meet you there, Zach, and super cool to meet somebody from back home. Kind of blew my mind, man. And it seemed like it did yours too, you know, because we don't see a lot of folks from we don't see a lot of Ohio plates out here for that matter, let alone, you know, somebody from our area, that was super cool. Good to meet you, man. Well, I'll tell you, man, I think I've managed to get all this in, and I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. This morning, though, when I first got up, though, I did run back towards Bab. Got a cup of coffee, charged my devices, and sat on the porch of this little general store. Cool looking, just quintessential country general store, man. I mentioned to the woman about it, you know, having some history, and yeah, it's 1904 or 1924. So yeah, almost 100 years. So that was cool. And but I bought a couple hard-boiled eggs and big Diet Pepsi and, like I said, a coffee, and sat out there on the porch for a few minutes and, you know, chilled before I headed back to the park to, you know, get my campsite, which again the Lord certainly blessed me with, because this is amazing. So that's all I got. I do want to say this July, this is the last day of July. That kind of blows my mind as well, seeing as how, you know, I was crossing the border, going north of the border there at Sumas, Washington, into British Columbia on July 1st. Just over 4 weeks ago now. Again, Friday was 4 weeks. But yeah, that, and with the end of July, you know, a couple of weeks back, I mentioned Papal Zeri passing 18 years ago, and then also earlier this month was the year anniversary since my buddy Ron had passed away and went home. And you know, I'd already talked about him and having that dream about him back in New Mexico. But yeah, just, you know, I still, of course, I think about him and you know, pray for the family and love him and miss him and all that. Because they're my family as well. But yeah, Ron was, you know, I might have said, well, he was an outdoorsman, and he would have absolutely loved all the places I've been and seen, and yeah, he would have loved it. And as with, you know, for that matter, Dad and Uncle James and Uncle Cecil, this whole, you know, Jasper, and, you know, you guys have been to Glacier, and I'm sure Uncle Cecil has too, but you guys would have absolutely loved it, Jasper, and just all the other places I've been. And yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, and two, I don't know if I ever gave my Aunt Esther and Uncle Ken really credit, so to speak. If I ever mentioned that Waterton, I've been wanting to go to Waterton for I don't know how long. You know, maybe 20 years. I don't know if it's been that long or not. But a long time. And that was because years ago, my Aunt Esther and Uncle Ken had said that they liked Waterton more than Glacier. Because I guess we had talked about maybe that trip with Dad and I, and Uncle James coming out here to Glacier. And they had said that they actually had, you know, they had went to Waterton and they liked the Canadian side of Waterton more. So that just, you know, that also, I guess everything blows my mind, but back then that blew my mind because I couldn't imagine a more beautiful place than Glacier. So that said, I've always wanted to go, and so thankfully I did get to go, and I do see why they like it so much. But I gotta be honest, I don't like it more than Glacier. I love Glacier. I love Montana. Again, it's America. I love America. I love Montana, and but either way, I mean, I absolutely love this park. It's my third time here, and it is amazing, and looking forward to, you know, God willing, next day or two, seeing a lot more of it, because spent a you know, time just chilling out there at the Mini Glaciers Motel or Hotel, which, you know, like I've already said and shot video of, and even thinking about going back out there tomorrow and just chilling some more, maybe even swimming in that big old lake, but we'll see. So somebody to say he didn't have much memory left, I sure have ran my mouth now for quite some time. Can't quite see what it says there without my glasses, but I'm going to shut it down, and God willing, I'll see y'all next month. So God bless you guys, and just thanks for watching.